Hey up everyone, something a bit different today, and thanks as always for the incredible support you give to keep the channel running. Today I'm going to dive into something that's been rumbling in the background for a while now. In the scheme of things, the motorcycle industry is a small one and just can't exert the pressure that some, like the big car manufacturers or food industry, can on the various governments of the world. So we get stuck with rules that often don't help the industry at all. We've been going through a global reshape for a while now, and for better or worse, things are changing. The world market, first dominated by British, American and European brands, had its heart and soul moved to Japan in the 70s, and however much they have tried, no one has challenged their dominance since. That is, until the slow march of China and India began to eat into the market share of the Big Four. This is often touted as simply being about cheaper wages and running costs, but you must have noticed that while the American, British and European brands concentrate their efforts on gouging more and more profit per sale from what they see as a dwindling market, adding bigger engines, more tech and other farcles until the bikes that are offered look like overweight Christmas trees adorned with all the gadgets to take you home with you on every journey. Whereas both India and China seem to have been listening much more to what the customers they are trying to woo from the more established competitors are saying. So we have already seen a swing. Both China and India have upped their game on quality and are offering simple, more affordable motorcycles that not only win sales from the established customers, but do much more to attract new riders into the fold. That is something that's been sadly missing from the industry for too long. Remember, it isn't that long ago that Yamaha admitted that the only thing keeping them afloat was the Asian market for smaller bikes. The Asian and Indian markets are maturing now too, and their burgeoning middle classes are buying bigger bikes as well as the small commuter bikes. So even without trade barriers, you can see how the industry is already changing. The big, expensive bikes are just less important now on a global scale, and the dwindling customer base the Big Four have relied on for years are just getting old. Anyway, I digress. But a quick reminder, try and remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Sharing the video any way you think people will be interested helps us a lot too. There's more about the channels here and on Rumble and on the Ko-fi group later, so I'll leave that for now. So, today we do truly have a global industry, a varied choice of bikes that offer riders a very different experience. So in general, all our tastes are catered for. I say in general because I still think that all the manufacturers should be offering bikes with less electronics for cheaper prices. Then they can have their range toppers with all the bells and whistles, but I'm just a Luddite at heart. The latest world economic twist has been the USA's decision to increase import tariffs and the subsequent retaliations that have already begun. And let me say from the start, I'm not here to say that tariffs are good or bad for America. All I'm talking about is their effect on the motorcycle industry. We can only guess at the long-term implications, but there are some problems it raises that are unavoidable. The example of this that has been in action for many years is in India and China, where high tariff rates they impose on each other make trade between the two countries almost impossible. US tariffs, especially on steel and aluminium, aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet, and they will hit the motorcycle industry hard. That will mean most manufacturers will have higher ticket prices across the whole of their ranges, and at a time when we have all been saying for far too long that bikes are just too expensive, that's not a good way for the industry to expand. So let's break it all down a bit. The thing is, steel and aluminium are the bread and butter of motorcycle manufacturing. Tariffs on these materials alone are already pushing production costs through the roof. For manufacturers, that means tighter profit margins, but for us, it inevitably means we will have to dig deeper into our pockets when buying bikes, and no one wants that, do they? It gets messy because the US tariffs have already begun to spark a tit-for-tat reaction by other countries. Take the Canada and European Union for example. They've already shown they're not afraid to hit back, and that will mean higher tariffs on US-made motorcycles and other goods. For companies set up with manufacturing plants in different countries, the impact will be less, but understanding the massive impact just the tariffs on aluminium and steel will have on all the manufacturers and the industry we all love as a whole should not be underestimated. It's like a game of economic ping pong, and no one in the motorcycle industry is at the table. Our voice is a tiny one at the back of the room, drowned out by the economic titans. Harley-Davidson, the iconic US brand, has been feeling the heat for a while now anyway, and this isn't going to help them on the world stage. Not only are they dealing with a shrinking home market share, higher costs for imported components and retaliatory tariffs from other countries, somehow they have to increase their global sales and profits. Higher costs is going to do nothing to help them, so it's just not looking pretty. There are no US companies making affordable entry-level bikes set to take advantage of the new tariffs either, so that will be something else that has a knock-on effect. With less cheaper bikes, there will be fewer new riders and so fewer customers. Electric brands like Zero could be hit even harder. Their reliance on imported raw materials and components will make their electric bikes even less affordable. But even the likes of Yamaha and Honda won't be immune. They may not have the input costs of the motorcycles with the bikes that are manufactured in the States, but they will still have to deal with the increased cost of the raw materials. So you can see where this is all going, I'm sure. Motorcycles and motorcycling will get more and more expensive, and as an expensive hobby already for most of us, that's not good. It will do nothing to bolster the dwindling numbers of new riders in the West either. The uncertainty around tariffs is causing chaos. Companies are rethinking not only where they produce the bikes, but how they manage their supply chains and, yes, how they price their products. It's a global shake-up, and it's anyone's guess how it will all play out. Remember, it was only 7 years ago in 2018 that the EU slapped tariffs on US goods, including Harley-Davidson motorcycles, in response to US tariffs on steel and aluminium then. And they have already said they will match any new tariff with tariffs of an equal value. So it's only time before those legislations come into place. Things can escalate quickly when politicians start meddling with trade barriers, and the fallout isn't just felt by big companies. We, the riders, are always the ones who pay the price in the end. Higher prices for motorcycles will make them less affordable for many people, and with an aging and dying customer base and no new riders coming in, that's a hard road for manufacturers in the West. Some companies will have to consider relocating at least part of their production to avoid tariffs, but they've got to make sure that moves make economic sense. Splitting production sites means savings on scale go out of the window and makes quality control much harder to manage. Then, try to imagine the chain of tariffs involved in building, selling and exporting a bike. Parts might come from 10 different countries, each with their own trade agreements with the place the bike is being built, but some sub-assemblies might also be built outside the country of origin, so you might have parts shipped from China or India to, say, Thailand for sub-assembly, then the sub-assembly is shipped to the manufacturing plant with another layer of tariffs, then you have the tariffs on the bikes exported from the factory. So the problem is like a snowball rolling downhill. It's never definitive, but in this case, I think we can all be pretty sure that prices will be going up. Let us hope that quality doesn't go down at the same time. So, There you have it. It's a tricky situation and one that's worth keeping an eye on. As always, I'll keep you updated on how things unfold. Thanks as always to everyone for all the support. Try and remember to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and sharing the video anywhere you think people will be interested helps us a lot too. If you'd like to help us to stay truly independent, you can make a one-off donation or join our group of monthly subscribers on the Ko-fi link in the description. There you get access to a private group where I share videos I can't screen on YouTube. Join us on Rumble too. The channel is new, but it's already got some great content. Don't forget, we make the best biker t-shirts too. Hundreds of original designs on premium quality t-shirts, graphic print t-shirts and neck gaiters, all available worldwide. Links to the main website and the Redbubble shop are in the description. Have a great week, and always remember, keep your spanners close and your keys even closer. Ride free, everyone.